This is a message to ENT doctors to stop telling your patients that there's nothing that can be done for tinnitus. My name is Dr. Ben Thompson. For the last number of years, I've been focused 100% on tinnitus. And one thing I know for sure is that there is something that can be done for tinnitus. When the ENT doctor tells their patient that there's no cure for tinnitus and that they don't have anything to help them with, it creates a fear-based, anxiety-based response, which is completely natural. And what the ENT doctor doesn't realize is that that message actually makes things worse. To hear that news from the ENT doctor can be damaging. It can set us back in our progress. We're going to that appointment looking for a solution, and the doctor who's supposed to fix the problem creates a dead end. They tell you, there's nothing I can do for you. They might throw their hands up. That kind of reaction feeds into the tinnitus response and can actually make it worse. One day, I felt like I had to do something about this problem. So I sent an email to the Treble Health tinnitus community, and I got responses back about different experiences with ENT doctors. Let's listen to Cami's experience to learn about how her ENT doctor communicated the diagnosis of tinnitus. And then after, I'm going to explain the best evidence-based scientific treatments for tinnitus to show you that there is something we can do for tinnitus.
Last year, I developed sudden loud noises in my left ear. It was blaring fire alarm type sounds. It was disturbing my thoughts constantly, and it was keeping me from sleeping. And after a few weeks of this, I was becoming paranoid and I was losing my mind. I went to the ENT. I thought maybe something was wrong with my eardrum. She looked in my ears and said, "No, you're fine. Everything looks healthy. No big deal." I said, "What do I do about this sound? Noises are hurting and I can't think." And she just said, "There really isn't anything you can do about tinnitus, so just give it time. You'll probably be fine." I didn't even hear about hyperacusis until later on, which I really needed to know about. What I needed was hope. But instead, I left absolutely devastated. I became near suicide, which is very unlike me, and I couldn't see any reason to move on. Luckily, I found some treatments that have helped, and I've been able to lower my tinnitus to a manageable level and manage my stress. But if I'd gone by that ENT's advice, I wouldn't be here today.
Wow, it's an inspiring story, and it's something that I come across every day in my job as an audiologist and tinnitus specialist. Notice what Cami said there, that she learned how to manage her stress and lower her tinnitus. That message is all that the ENT doctors need to say, and then they need to explain who exactly you work with or how exactly you do it. As Cami alluded to, there are options for reducing tinnitus, and that's the most important message to know. Have the hope, have the truth that there are scientific approaches that have been shown to reduce tinnitus for a vast majority of patients. Now, I understand that you may have just been watching this video and you don't know me quite yet. I'm a tinnitus specialist. I'm an audiologist. I'm someone who's shouting from the rooftops that there is something we can do for tinnitus. Is there a cure, you may ask? I want this completely gone. Well, that may not happen. Most people who manage and reduce tinnitus do not completely remove the symptom. I have a low level of tinnitus, which I've had for 8 years. I personally know hundreds of individuals who have reduced tinnitus to a manageable level and are living normal and healthy lives. Tinnitus is a benign body sensation. That means that the symptom itself will not kill you. It will not harm you. The sound can be annoying. It can create anxiety. It can make it hard to sleep. But by itself, let's not give it so much power. I have empathy for anyone who's been told there's nothing you can do by an ENT doctor. In fact, it probably happens 100 or more times a day across the United States. But what we're here to do is to change that narrative. By this point, on our YouTube channel, we've released over 15 videos, successful tinnitus stories where patients who maybe were told there's nothing they can do have reduced their condition and improved their symptoms over time. The system that we follow that works for most patients includes two simple things. One is sound therapy. The second is cognitive behavioral techniques. If you don't know what either of those are, now is your time to take notes and learn about them. Education about what you can do for tinnitus is stronger than the fear, anxiety, and stress caused by not having a solution. The solutions that exist will rely on the sound therapy and the cognitive behavioral techniques. Sound therapy can be so simple. It can be something that you already have on your phone. Both of these approaches have different levels of care. You can go for something simple, do it yourself, like an app that has sound therapy for tinnitus, or an app that has cognitive behavioral strategies for tinnitus. You can work your way up to figure out what exactly you need. The gold standard on each of these categories for sound therapy is going to be ear-level devices that have built-in sound therapy to promote a natural brain process called habituation. Think about the sound of your breathing. You don't think about it at all, but if you listen for it, it's always there. That shows us that your auditory brain is able to reduce the perception of constant sounds that are just everyday normal sounds, okay? The gold standard for sound therapy would be ear-level devices like tinnitus maskers or hearing aids for tinnitus. That is commonly used as a treatment, and research supports that use. The other side with cognitive behavioral strategies, this can be coaching or therapy with a psychologist, a therapist, or some well-trained audiologists. If you haven't tried either of those, please take it upon yourself to learn what you can and make action steps for the sound therapy and the cognitive behavioral strategies. If you want to learn more about what you can do for tinnitus, my team of audiologists and I have created the Tinnitus Guide 2023 edition. This is a digital PDF that you can download and read on your own time. There's 20 pages of the highest quality information that I've seen and been a part of related to tinnitus. You can learn about the different causes of tinnitus, the different treatment options, and research for a cure. Find the link to download that free guide underneath this video in the description. I had a lot of fun creating the Tinnitus Guide because I knew it would help thousands of people. And in that guide, you'll find there's detailed commentary on the different management strategies for tinnitus. This is a collaboration between my team of audiologists and I at Treble Health. We are a telehealth company completely focused on tinnitus, and we started at the beginning of the pandemic, of the COVID pandemic. What we found is that with the sound therapy and the cognitive behavioral strategy method, that within 3 months, 75% of our patients have a clinically significant reduction and improvement in tinnitus, let alone 6 to 18 months is the normal time window for how long it takes to get better with tinnitus. So if you're freaking out here in the first weeks or months, just relax, calm yourself down, learn about what you can do, reach out for help if you need it. Let's now listen to George, another member of our tinnitus community at Treble Health, who had something to say about his experience with an ENT doctor.
My initial experience with an ENT involved a sequence of medical tests. I was then told that I am basically stuck with it and that I should find a specialist to help me deal with it. For the past year, I've been habituating using strategies including cognitive behavioral therapy and sound therapy. I recently had a follow-up experience with the ENT. I reviewed my journey with him with insights about the proactive, positive realities of habituation. I also relayed how Dr. Ben Thompson and his team at Treble Health have certainly been an important catalyst for my progress. He listened carefully, and I believe that I made an impact. It's so important for ENTs to provide a more positive message of encouragement and guidance for tinnitus patients to seek out the appropriate health professionals. A normal, productive life is certainly an attainable goal.
I've gotten to know George through our group coaching sessions that we do. Any patient who works with Treble Health, we have group coaching Zoom sessions, which me and other audiologists lead. Gotten to know George, and I'm really grateful that he shared his story. And even more importantly, he spoke with the ENT doctor to explain, like you heard, that he can live a healthy and productive life with tinnitus. Again, my name is Ben Thompson with Treble Health. Make sure to check under the description in this video to download the Tinnitus Guide 2023 edition, and look above my head where you can click another video to watch information about the tinnitus cure research, the best research on tinnitus that's out there. We've made a full review to understand if we can find a cure for this condition. Click that video above my head and I'll see you there.